All right, Clint, let's jump in. We're talking worst fan bases in the Southeastern Conference. Where, I mean, where do you even start? First of all, let me get out ahead of this. Fans in the Southeastern Conference are worse than any other conference in the country. And
I was just going to say, Daniel, 100%. 100% if you think that the top half of worst fan bases in America don't come from the SEC, like, do you really think Indiana fan is objectionably a bad... They're fine. They're a fine person.
They're fine. And listen, that should tell you it's a product of passion. Passion is what makes bad fans. And so it's not necessarily a negative thing. It's just negative. It's positive energy that's being negatively applied, Clint. And so if anything, this is just our effort here at the Talking Dogs. This is our effort to try to bring some stabilization. So if you hear us mention your school as being some of the worst fans in America, we're first of all, we're probably talking about you. If you're on another football program's team-specific podcast, you're probably the guy we're talking about, first of all. And I'll say guy because that's who you are.
Oh,
and I could narrow down your age
10 out of
range.
10.
I could narrow down your age range for you if you wanted me to, and I could probably make some educated guesses about your profession. But we won't get into much of that.
I could even predict what car you drive.
Yeah. We could get down to make and model and within a 3 to 5 year range on the year. Let's start with in your mind, Clint, who is the number one worst fan base in the SEC? And I think the answer is going to shock some people.
It's going to shock people.
I don't think it's wrong, so I'm going to let you lead out.
Well, let me get out in front of this and tell you who it's not really quick. So Florida fan, you're okay. You can breathe a sigh of relief that you didn't come in first in something yet again. Like, just, it's a warm blanket. It's a warm embrace that you don't finish first in something, and you were nervous for a hot minute because you weren't going to be able to do anything. You're like, I don't know how to accept this. Don't worry, you're not number one. I'm going to tell you what makes the worst fan bases in the SEC. Okay? Look, Alabama fan, I don't like you. You're not the worst. And the reason why you're not the worst, you've had success. Like, it's hard to come off the mountain from the greatest coach to not good.
Not good. Not being good. Winning no championships of any kind. And qualifying for the 12-team college football playoff 50% of the years that you were able to. So, if that's your standard...
And having the most talented roster every year of that time.
If that's your standard, Alabama, you're doing great.
Okay. But Alabama's had success, so their fan can talk a little bit. You have to have little success. You have to have low trophy count.
That's right.
You also have to, when you do find success, brag about lesser things that you did in life. Like, when you brag, it's of the lower, moderately impressive category. You know? Like the friend that puts their IKEA furniture together and brags about it. You know? Or like talks about not going to Costco and getting a shopper to go to Costco for you and be like, my world changed when I had somebody else shop at Costco for me. You're like, your world changed? Like, okay, so moderate success, high praise.
This is a great criteria for what makes the worst fan. This is educational, Clint.
This is. Secondly, your knowledge of football has to be lesser than that of other schools. So not only are you chirping about modest achievements, when you do actually get called out and asked to participate in a conversation, what you leave and just divulge all your dirty secrets is you don't know ball to save your life. Third criteria, you have to be moderately successful, but brag about things that are moderately successful. Your football knowledge has to be very low. And when you chirp, you are the loudest, brashest, most idiotic sounding person at the bar. The person at the bar that nobody is chatting with, but you have to walk up to every other group and kind of weasel your way into the circle. Yes. But no, we are actively trying to keep, like a Roman turtle shell, trying to keep you out of that circle. And you find your way in there like a little weasel. And it's number one, and it's Texas fan head and shoulders above everyone else in each one of those categories, Daniel.
And it's funny because typically, you know, it is the squeakiest wheel kind of syndrome. It's like, yeah, the fan bases are going to be more obnoxious when the programs are good. But see, as you pointed out, if a program is good, that kind of gives the fan base, if they've had some success, again, Alabama fan, it's an emphasis on the past tense, had, because your success is finished. It is over. But if a program has had some success, it's at least easier to stomach that obnoxious fan when they start chirping about things. But when you are dealing with a program like Texas, and this is what all of the Big 12 knew when they said, good riddance to Texas, go ahead and join the SEC. We will happily pay for the U-Haul for you to leave town. This is what the Big 12 knew, which is that Texas is the guy that thinks they're the best guy in the room when they are not even being invited to participate in the competition, right? They are there observing a hot dog eating contest, and they firmly believe that they could choke down more hot dogs than the Joey Chestnuts up there on stage that are participating, and they can't wait to tell all their friends that last week on a Thursday, just for kicks and giggles, this is how many hot dogs I ate, and I wasn't even really trying. That is the Texas fan. Texas has won, Clint. Texas has won one conference championship in 17 years.
Oh, no. Clearly, you miscounted. Clearly, no. Well, the good news is, Daniel, that the one championship was in fact in the SEC, which is the best conference in America. So that
no, in 2023 they beat Oklahoma State in the Big 12 title game, and they won a Big 12 title. They have 0 SEC championships, which is less than Georgia Tech, and they have one conference championship in the last 17 years. I don't have to tell you they have 0 national championships in the last 20 years, and I don't have to tell you that makes a program truly irrelevant. Like, truly and honestly not remotely relevant to championship football. Period.
No. Period. You know what? Texas fan is like Steve Rogers went into the chamber to get the secret serum poured into their body.
Sure.
And instead we're given like VR goggles. And so when they came out, they thought they were Captain America. Yeah. But they all see a 5'6", 125-pound scrawny dude swinging away. And they everybody else hey guys, just go with it. Just pretend he's Captain America.
It makes him feel better.
That's you, Texas fan. You think you are Cap, and you are not. You are nowhere near, because you think it's the secret sauce that did it for you. Let me tell you all the excuses that you don't have. well, we haven't been able to recruit really well. Nope. Number one recruiting classes for the last 20 years. Like, they riddled throughout the
Whoops.
We don't have a lot of funding. You started your own Longhorn network before anybody else did and got to print money. Print. We didn't get our pick of the litter when it came to coaches. No, you did. You got to pick Tom Herman, Charlie Strong. You thought you had every right person.
Yeah, you just made a bunch of really
Texas.
bad hires.
You're the problem, Texas. Like as an entity, as an existing thing, you're your own demise, which is hard to admit. I got to admit.
It is hard
it's
to admit.
very sucky.
It is hard to admit. I
want
to move on to number 2 on the list, Clint, and you can tell me if I'm emotionally compromised.
Well,
Because I live in Nashville.
here we go.
And it ain't Vandy, friends. I'm not talking about the Vandy fan. Okay, Nate Bargatze is
Outside
not
of
about to. Yeah.
Instead of a 68-year-old man who
That guy.
threatened children.
Okay, that guy had it coming. That guy had it coming. Let the record show
And
that Clint and I did not throw a punch at an elderly gentleman at a Vanderbilt football game. That did not happen. Say what you will about us. Remember, we were talking about Texas fan bragging about things that they have no business bragging about? Ugh. We might be bragging about not hitting an elderly man in the face, but we didn't. You want to talk about a program, Clint, that hadn't won anything? Like, hadn't won. I'm talking about hadn't won anything in 30 years, Clint. 30 years. I said one conference title in 17 years for Texas. Well, it's been 29 years since Tennessee has a conference title.
Ooh, brother.
Yeah. Tennessee hadn't won anything. But this fan base will not shut up about it. Like, it's starting to soften. The early Josh Heupel days, I think it was as bad as it's ever been. Because this program really thought they were back, y'all.
Ask me this question 3 years ago, and probably would have had a different answer.
Tennessee's number 1,
Correct.
for sure. They really thought they were back, and they have been humbled by Josh Heupel's mediocre results. And I think, Clint, a recognition that if they were to fire Josh Heupel, which they will do after this season, they won't get anybody better. They will not upgrade at coach.
Philip Fulmer got fired, okay? And started the steep decline of Tennessee since he was fired, up to and including a NASA alien putting on a helmet and playing football, and a coach looking for painted signs on teams, on players' shoes. Like,
they had a trash can that they used to hold up and dunk the football in. Big T on it. The trash can.
Not a very cool looking portable basketball.
Make this stuff up. It's just a
U-line trash can.
A U-line gray trash can. $29.95. Ordered it right out of the catalog.
Daniel and I have way too much knowledge of U-line trash cans.
Hey, listen. It's a heck of a product, Tennessee. I will give you that. It's very durable. Listen. Tennessee's not won anything, and Josh Heupel is the best thing that's happened to them in 30 years. Right? Since T. Higgins, Josh Heupel's the best thing that's happened to them. But the program's going nowhere. And I think the fan base is starting to recognize. That's why they've fallen from their post at number 1. But I'm telling you, if you live in Tennessee, you just brace yourself every fall. Because you know what's coming. You know how obnoxious the fan base is. And I can't believe we have a list that has had 2 schools on it, and we still have not talked about Florida. But I think that's the state of the SEC right now. And it's probably an indicator of how bad Florida is. Like, just truly
That's what
bad.
really comes down to. You talked about Tennessee being humbled. And by the way, you remember, they were all chirps when they created. And again, this is not... Sometimes there are parody accounts out there. And there's comedians that make some very funny stuff. They made a coffee table book.
Yep.
Talking about how great their season was for not winning playoff games.
For not participating in the SEC championship game. 0 wins in the college football playoff and 0 participations in the SEC championship game. They made a coffee table book about being ranked number 1 in the country in week 8.
For 1 week.
1 week. Till they came down to Athens, and it was a little too loud for them.
It was
It
so
was too
loud.
It was a little loud.
Can't hear the snap count.
9 false
so
starts,
much
I believe,
fun.
in that game for Tennessee.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. Yeah, we haven't talked about Florida, and it is the state of Florida. Tennessee's being humbled. Tennessee, just prepare yourself. This season's not going to be any better for y'all. Like, genuinely, it's not going to be better.
They might be starting a true freshman at quarterback. It could be bad.
Florida, conversely, has been bad for some time now. Dan Mullen was the best coach you've had in the last 10 years.
By far.
I said what I said.
By far, guys.
And every time you get... It's like Texas talking about this is our year because we have the best roster. Florida will say this is our year and because we have a program builder. You've been doing this for a long time. Florida fan.
Yeah.
It's not getting better. You keep on doing the same crap. Nobody's coming to your school. And every single year, more stuff gets leaked out about how weird the coach is and how much he can't do anything. And the talent is always there at Florida. You're going to find some people that want to stay home in Florida. And Florida's got a lot of talent for high school ranking and coming back. And they got some money. And the Swamp, admittedly, is a very tough place to play. Again, as Texas. But it's wild to me that when we started this podcast over a decade ago, Daniel, Talking Dawgs, over a decade, right? Is my mathing out there?
No, yes. Definitely, it's right at a decade, right at 10 years.
Yeah. It was where the cocktail party was for you and I the most anxious game, and the thing that you and I had a bunch of question marks about, and we had back and forth consternation and a whole bunch of.
We had a bunch of Mark Richt
Not
drama.
recently. Yeah.
But see, we fixed that problem. We upgraded. See, when we got rid of our coach, we actually were able to upgrade. See, the thing that you haven't been able to do, fan base, Tennessee, Florida, the thing that you haven't been able to do, we did that. Clint, I have a clear number 3. But before I give you my number 3, because I want to end there, can I give you my honorable mention?
Yeah. I'll give an honorable mention. You give an honorable mention.
All right. My honorable mention is Ole Miss. Now, they've got a ways to go. And I don't think we're going to hear much from them in the distant future because you want to talk about coaching hires. It's a program that is going straight down the toilet. Straight to jail. You overcook fish, straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
You are Ole Miss, straight to the toilet. Ole Miss fan deserves an honorable mention on this list because the level of delusion that it takes to have the best coach that your program has ever seen.
Correct.
Literally your only hope of being relevant on a national stage and in the conversation to make the college football playoff. The only hope you have of that, to have him as your coach, to know exactly who he is, and then to get so mad at him, get your feelings so hurt when he acts exactly how he has always told you he was going to act.
If somebody tells you who they are, Believe them.
Believe them. That's a long-standing motto of Clint and I. Just believe them when they tell you who they are. Lane Kiffin's been telling people who he is his entire life. Ole Miss, you know, he hadn't, I just let the record show, he hadn't taken another job. Ole Miss gave him an ultimatum and basically forced him out the door.
Yep.
That's why Lane Kiffin, maybe he would have gone to LSU anyway. But that's why it went down the way it went down in the timeline that it went down in. Because Ole Miss got so up on their high horse and thought they were something that they ran out the only hope that they would ever have of being relevant. Just because they got their feelings hurt. It's a sad state of affairs in Oxford.
And an Ole Miss fan, you're saying to yourself, well, we beat Georgia in the playoff.
Sure you did.
You did. You
sure did.
Colt McCoy, or not Colt. What was that other, not Colt McCoy, but what was that other guy? That Texas, we're back.
What, Texas is back? That guy? Texas fans will know. They're still here. Texas fans, tell us, that was a conference championship winning team that you had there, probably.
And the team that went on to win national championships being back and so great and so fantastic.
Yep.
They went down from that and still aren't back. Ole Miss, you may have beat Georgia one time, but like again, when we play each other, when we come to the Grove, we will be ranked, and you will not.
You will not be ranked. Not to say it won't be a tough game for Georgia. It might be a close game. It will be your fourth loss of the season when we beat you. That's
no.
At least. That's my honorable mention, Clint. Who's your honorable mention?
Okay. My honorable mention, and this is, look, it's hard. I want to say Missouri because you're not part of the South. Like,
yikes.
Just honorable mention. You haven't done
if
anything
this was
wrong.
Most obnoxious coaches in the SEC, Eli Drinkwitz would have a place at the table. I will tell you that.
If LSU might be high up on this list in a couple of years, like I can guarantee you, one of the teams we just talked about will be usurped by LSU.
If this were worst people, LSU would be number one on the list. Full stop.
Full stop.
Debate a wall.
Full stop.
If this were objectively worst people, that's LSU
Correct.
number one. Yeah, for sure.
I'm going honorable mention worst fan bases, and it's kind of for the opposite reason. Arkansas. I know you're down on your luck. I get it. It's hard.
Down bad.
Okay? Down real bad. Arkansas, I don't think you're going to win a single SEC game this year.
What else is new?
Okay? Real bad. But have some pride about yourself. Like, I get it. It's hard. It sucks. You can't chirp a great deal, but you can buy in. And instead of playing the woe is me, kick me while I'm down, I guess we'll just go eat dirt, no one likes me. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Like, don't be a Florida fan, but also take a little bit of pride. You're in the SEC. You're a football program. You've had some bright spots. You've had some quarterbacks. You have some success. Get excited a little bit. Buy into it and stop being the freaking glass is always empty. I know wins haven't been there. Support your team or don't be a fan. That's my problem with Arkansas fan. Support your team or don't be a fan. You can't be a fan that just sits there and boo-hoos and has a brown paper bag. Stop it.
How does Arkansas not have more Walmart money? I don't understand it. We got to do a whole thing on this is like a Nike level.
You should be Oregon
good,
of
right?
the South.
You know why Oregon's good, right? It's not because Oregon's good. It's because
has somebody picked up the phone and just called somebody?
Let me just make a ring-a-ding over to the Walton family. Just check in. I think the number 3 most obnoxious fan base in the SEC, Clint, is I think it's Georgia, and I don't think it's even. I think they could be higher on the list. And listen,
we likely should be.
You got to own it, Georgia fans. Like this is my biggest pet peeve is like we get it. We know who we are. We are obnoxious. And do you know what we do? We win. That's the thing. It's like, we're obnoxious, and then we beat you. Like, that's what we do. We win championships. Right? Like, we won the SEC championship last year. We won the SEC championship the year before that. 2 years before that, we won the national championship. The year before that, we won the national championship again. That's what Kirby Smart and Georgia does. Georgia's been waiting to be the bully of the SEC for 40 years. And now we are. And we are obnoxious because we've earned it. Like, if Tennessee ever got
100%.
good, you know how much they would run their mouth? And listen, that would be their prerogative to run their mouth. Georgia fans,
100%.
we are obnoxious because we've earned that level of... So don't deny it. Don't run away from it. You own it because it's who we are.
It is who we are. And truth be told, enjoy it while you can. Okay? Make hay while the sun is up. All right?
Here we go. This guy has to just absolutely freaking piss all over this podcast and everything that we love and hold dear. Hey, can I introduce you to my friend Clint, everybody? If you're new, just want to say welcome and hi and glad to have you.
You're smiling and having a good time and laughing with friends and close family and cool. Good for you. Can you take that somewhere else? Get off my lawn. I would like a dark hole by myself to sit in pain.
Kirby Smart will probably retire soon. So it's all over.
Georgia is number 3. It's not even close because we have had think of all the things that I described in segment 1. That's what Georgia fan was early on. It was the Mark Richt years. Again, Mark Richt, damn good dog, but we were more like Texas fan than anything else at that point.
Yeah,
Kirby Smart comes along.
Conference championships, so that's not true. But I get what you're saying.
That's what I said. Closer, not exact. Yeah. Then Kirby Smart came around, and all that angst and all that pride and all that tradition came roaring out in the absolute biggest mother on the block in Kirby Smart. And we said, I'm with him. The people, when you have that friend, you know that friend when you go out and you're like, oh, they're going to take care of business for me. If I get in a bad way, they got my back. All of a sudden you talk a bigger game than you're used to. All of a sudden you start saying some things you normally wouldn't. Okay. That's what Kirby Smart is for us. And guys, gals, it makes sense. We run our mouths a little bit.
Obnoxious fan base is what makes college football great. It's why college football games should be played on college football campuses. It's why we love the sport so much. It's why we love to talk about it. It's why we love to go to the games. It's why we are glad that you are here. Drop a note in the comments. Let us know what you think, what your thoughts are about all of this. There's a link in the description. Subscribe to our free newsletter. It comes out every week. If you're subscribed to the newsletter, you'll get our season preview that's got all of our predictions, all of our thoughts coming right in a PDF right to your inbox. And so you get a newsletter every single week, and then you also get our free season preview that comes out. So make sure you're subscribed. Follow along everything that we do, and we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.